Welcome to the Ed Answer Key, the podcast where in the time it takes to complete hall duty and attendance, we embark on an educational adventure for both teachers and families. So whether you're a seasoned educator or a family navigating the school system, buckle up for the Ed Answer Key.
'61, and with '61,
I feel good about this one.
We're only going up, you know?
What is it?
perfect.
Oh, it's
Summer vacation length. What you feeling about that?
I know it's a very common argument that, teachers get summer break. They get 2 months off. They deserve it. And the counter argument to that is, well, how many extra hours do you put in outside of your contract hour? And, no one really has a set number. But I decided to be a nerd this year, and I counted my overtime hours. I worked 364 hours overtime, not including coaching, not including service hours, not including concession stands.
That is crazy.
What were you doing? Like grading and stuff at home?
So the first half of the year, I didn't really limit myself. Normally, I usually go into school maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours early just to get things situated. I counted the hours that I just spent grading over the weekend. Sometimes I stayed after school just to catch up on certain things. But after winter break, I had already hit almost the 200 mark, and I dropped significantly. I stopped working over the weekends. I coached, so I didn't really have time to work after school anymore. I still kept my 2 hours before contract hours, but I told myself that was just way too much.
My head of school made it a policy where you could not answer an email after 7 p.m. You could not send an email after 7 p.m. The parents knew that the operating hours were 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But it was a good boundary to have.
That is nice as like a collective
right,
organization.
that he would support us if a parent said, I emailed her, and he said, well, it was at 7 o'clock. But, I still schedule send and still work at night because it's just more convenient. But it was a good boundary to have.
I really like, obviously, having a break, but I'm actually one of those that doesn't really like a break. So you can pretty much find me at school anytime. Like, I'm just kind of that person. But I think this schedule makes the most sense to me, though, like not having this extended summer break.
Yeah.
Because you're not so far removed from your norms.
Time goes
that's
so
enough.
fast,
That's
though.
enough time.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
for real
enough time
because
to
you get me
reset.
2 out of the routine.
Right.
It ain't no coming back.
I agree, and I think with the kids, it's worse
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, for
amen.
sure.
Amen.
because we're still probably reading and
Trying to educate. By ourselves.
doing some things that
School's
are
in the back of our
intellectual,
Yeah,
and,
intellectual,
and
that's right.
kids who are just
Melting.
not sleeping very well.
No.
They're not sleeping normal periods of time, hanging out with their buddies, playing video games. Their brains aren't working as much as they need to.
So, what would you do with an extra $17,456.25?
My overtime hours.
Is that what it came up to?
Yeah, 17.
That's interesting that you brought that up because I have talked to people in the past. They're like, well, I'd rather continue to work my job 8 to 4 than have to work 12-hour days like you guys do sometimes because it's so unpredictable. We're like dead for like 9 months, 10 months of our lives, and then suddenly we're like, hey, we're alive again. I feel like we go in such spouts.
Yeah, we have
My dad said we can leave their work at work, but we can't leave our work at work.
So true. So true.
That's a good point too. Even when I'm not teaching, I'm still thinking about teaching. I'm still worrying about teaching. I'm still
Looking at emails.
There's always a
losing
to-do
sleep.
list. There's
Yeah.
always a to-do list regardless of where.
Oh,
Yeah, it's summertime, and I still get emails. Once you get away from this place, chill out, but make sure you're checking your email.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying your summer.
That's
but
what I just told my principal today. I said, how you going to tell them to come in and go through the closet, see which books we're not using, and they're not scheduled to come back till August? Like, I can buy them lunch. They don't want them lunch. They want a day of money if they're coming in. But why are we even bothering them? Those books can sit there till August, and they can look at them in August.
Can I just add that our overtime pay is getting to see the success of our
Oh,
students?
thank you, Cliff, for reminding us of our why.
I'm not in this for the money.
But it sure feel good spending it, don't it?
I'm sure my wife would say, yes, it feels good spending my money.
Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of the Ed Answer Key. Your support means the world to us. Be sure to stay in the loop about upcoming topics by downloading our free podcast companion at www.edanswerkey.com. So until next time, class dismissed.